Okay, we are going to recap our week 2 of week 12 progress and what we have experienced in the last week. We're going to get straight into this. I'm going to talk about the weight loss for me from week 1 to week 2. At the end of week 1, I was 223, and at the end of week 2, I am 221. So I have lost 2 pounds and that week, and I'm actually pretty happy about that. So I'm on track for losing weight the way I want to lose it, because I'm estimating my weight loss to be around 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds. So 2 pounds is exactly where I want to be, and as long as I'm in that mark, I'm doing really good, and we'll see if I can keep that up by next week. So hopefully I do. How is y'all's weight loss going?
Mine was a good same. I'm down like 2 pounds, started at 207.6 and I'm at about 205. So that's the scale's moving in the right direction. So I'm okay with that. Slow and steady. It's good for me. So that's my weight loss.
For me, I don't really remember what I started off at the beginning of this week. I just know my beginning weight in general. And it was, 162, and now I'm 156. So however much that is.
Nice.
Six. How many pounds is that? I'm not doing the math.
Yeah, that's not.
We already learned that.
Hold on, let me put my fingers under the table real quick and count.
Not my strong suit.
For me, week 1, I didn't really have a diet set. I was kind of winging it a little bit. So at the end of week 1, I was right around like 241. Then week 2, I went ahead and set in like an actual meal plan with like the intermittent fasting and stuff. And at the beginning of end of week 1 to beginning of week 2 or whatever.
Your
Well, we're
first
at the
week.
end of week 2. This is the end of week 2.
This was his first week, remember? 'Cause
Oh yeah, okay. So this is technically your week 1.
his neck and
of
his
your actual
bag
thing.
and his,
Oh,
you know
right.
what, and his crack. Yeah.
So I'm right about I'm still right at the 241. Like I still hit the 241 after changing my meals and actually getting it to where my meals are kind of lining up, and it should kind of progressively go down from there. Actually having a set meal plan though, as like I said,
So proud of you.
the week 1 for y'all, I kind of just winged it that week.
Well, you kind of
So
just
this was
didn't really
my
come.
first actual week.
Just kind of bailed.
Kind of hurt your neck.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so now that we got the weight out the way, I'm going to talk about the actual diet itself. So my diet is pretty basic and simple. At the current moment, I'm doing 2 pounds of ground meat a day with 12 ounces of white rice measured dry, and then that comes out to 4 meals a day. So it's 8 ounces per meal, and then whatever the white rice gets divided to. And then I do 3/4 cups of beef stock per meal. So that's pretty much it for the whole entire day, what I'm doing. During the day, I'm good. In between meals, I start getting a little hungry, but come around 6:37, the hunger sets in and it never lets up. It just gets so incredibly intense. I mean, just super intense. It's not like ever a moment that's just like, oh, cool, I'm not hungry, I'm not thinking about it. If I'm watching a movie, taking a shower, going for a walk, I'm at the park with the kids, it doesn't matter what I do, it's always in the back of my mind and my stomach just like, we're hungry. And I ignore it because there's no point in dwelling on it, but like me and you kind of go back and forth a lot on it because you're intermittent fasting too. So we go a lot in back. So I'm like, I'm just so hungry. Stop talking about it. And then she's like, I'm so hungry. And I'm like, stop talking about it. So we kind of ping off of each other, which works for us. So.
Never in sync. It's always Backstreet Boys. So.
Yeah. So how's your diet?
My diet's good. I do chicken and what 4 times a day, 6 ounces raw. So whatever that ends up cooked. And then I do a packet of cheddar grits for my, whatever you want to call it. What is it?
Carbs.
Carbs.
Yay.
Yay, I did it.
Yay, carbs.
And that's working for you. So we both decided to be super hungry together. And your diet is progressing too.
Yeah, so I'm still on 6 meals a day, although that'll change here in a couple days when I move into my second set. So 6 meals a day, 3 clean meals, 3 fun meals. I'm totally adjusted to that meal plan, able to eat everything. The first couple of days of week 1, I couldn't hardly finish one meal, but I just try to eat it fast before my mind is like, whoa, stop. And actually kind of, I don't want to use the word crave it, but if I go past my time, I'm like, man, I could really use some completely unseasoned chicken right now. And, then I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to eat. So, so it's good. I'm a little anxious to hear what my next 2 weeks of my meal plan will bring, but I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll yield you results. So it'll get you.
Hey, like
closer
I
to
said,
your
the
goal.
scale's moving the right way, so I'm down for it.
Yeah, and that's motivation enough to keep you going. What's your meal plan look like?
For me, it started out Monday, Tuesday. It was the same as what you were doing, or what you are doing. So I was doing 2 pounds of ground meat with it was 8 servings of rice, which is like roughly 12 ounces, a little over 12 ounces, and with the beef broth. And I did that for Monday, and it wasn't. It was difficult to eat, but just because of the amount of food, because what I was doing before that for my meals was much less. So it was an adjustment. And so at Tuesday, I struggled even more. So it was taking me like close to 30 minutes or so to get the meals down. So what I ended up having to do is reduce it by 2 ounces on the rice. I mean, not 2 servings on the rice. So I took the rice down 2 servings from 8 servings to 6 servings, but kept the meat the same. And I've been able to run with that.
You also added seasoning, right? Because you weren't at first, but you're
Yeah, the first day I tried to do it exactly like you do with like the no seasoning thing or whatever, and that didn't work out. But yeah, day 2 I added seasoning, and still I was having trouble just because of the amounts and stuff. Because like as far as it goes for hunger though, like I do not like, even with the intermittent fasting, like I do not feel hunger at all whatsoever. Like I finished my last meal like between 3:15, and by 7 o'clock in the next morning when I start eating again, I'm still not hungry.
That's
I haven't
wild.
felt like a little bit of hunger creeping on, anything like that. Nothing. But I eat the meal, and then my next meals throughout the day, no issues with starting to feel a little hungry during like in between or anything like that. Like I haven't had any hunger type issues at all whatsoever so far. So like I said, and I think it's mostly just because it's a big adjustment. Because before this, when we were kind of just winging it for the month or so before we started back into this, I reduced myself down to basically one lunch type meal during the day, plus like a breakfast and then a dinner of whatever's kind of sort. But that one meal during the day that I was doing, that was like a larger meal. It was just larger than my other ones typically. Was only like half a pound of ground meat and like a serving of rice. And I just ate one of those throughout the day, and then I did a breakfast meal of whatever that might be, and then I ate dinner. So going from doing that to 2 pounds of ground meat with the 6 servings of rice now, it's still like
a lot.
yeah, like I'm having to work it out.
I had to channel my inner boot camp to figure out how to get all that food down. Like just like go, 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 go. Go Navy.
Yeah, you just got to get it down fast. Like you have about 20 minutes for your body to start realizing that, oh, I'm getting food. And then once it starts to digest and then the carbohydrates start hitting the liver, it's whenever the signals of hunger will start to shut down. So the faster you can eat within the first 20 minutes, the more success you're going to have at getting it down.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, being hungry sucks really bad. Like it sucks really bad. It's one of the worst things in the world to be hungry. Ask anyone who's hungry if they like it. It's like, no,
Yeah,
it
sure.
sucks. But on the flip side of that, whenever I used to powerlift, I would overeat. You can't eat 12,000 calories a day and then not look at food and want to throw up. Like that is equally as hard. And actually, I'd almost say it's harder to overeat than it is to undereat, because to be hungry, all you have to do is not eat. Like, what do you have to do? Nothing. Oh, well, how do you get by? Oh, I just do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do? I'm just hungry and I just deal with it. And I drink water and chew ice chips and I just deal with the hunger. When you're full and you just got done eating 2 hours ago and you have to eat another meal equal to the one you just got done eating and you barely got that one down, and then you're looking at that one just like, how am I going? And then you're like gagging every meal. Like I've literally like taken bites, stopped, throw up the food, caught it in my mouth, had to hold it for a couple of seconds, swallow it back down, wait 3-4 minutes, let the sweat stop, compose myself, and then just
go
get back at it to get it all down. And like it was serious when it came to powerlifting for me. Like I had to get my food, and I would not sacrifice a single bite of food, I would get it down. And if you ask me which one's harder, that's harder. It's way more difficult overeating food constantly throughout the day versus being hungry. And I don't care, well, I could eat easy. No, you think you can eat a lot until you have to eat a lot. I've talked to a lot of people like, oh, I have no problem eating a lot of food, until they look at the amount of food that I was eating and they try to do that just for 3 meals, let alone 9 meals a day. And it's like, good luck. I mean, we went, whenever TGI Fridays, they used to have all you can eat appetizers. And when me and
I've
him
heard about this. Yeah.
when me and him were powerlifting, we went there, and how many pot stickers did we eat?
There's a whole bunch of plates, like 30 something plates or something.
I know,
Oh
but
my
like,
gosh.
total, I think it was like 50 something pot stickers. And then it was 50, so 54, 55 or something. And then we had flatbread, we had potato wedges, and then whatever the other appetizer was. And it wasn't just like one thing of like flatbread, it was like 2 or 3. And it was
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 things of like potato. Like every time we would go, we'd tell them just keep it coming till we tell you to stop. Because I'm gonna have to put an order in, the wait, just keep
Yeah,
it
just
coming.
keep 'em rolling.
And then the waiter, he'd figure it out like, oh, these guys aren't going to give me a good tip if I don't keep it coming. So they would just keep it coming until we would stop eating. And I think like one meal totaled out to close to like 9,000 calories for me and him, like a piece of what we ate. And I know they hated us when we walked in there, like, oh, here come these 2 fatties again. But to eat that amount of food and then 3 hours later, now, granted, I didn't eat that much of food every single time, but to
Yeah.
eat that amount of food and then like a couple hours later, you have to eat again. Even if it's not to that quantity, you're not going to want to eat the rest of the day, let alone in 3 hours. It's just, it's a lot of food to do. So out of hunger and overeating, I'd rather be hungry than overeat.
Yeah, it's one of those things like used to tell people at work and stuff like that, the fatty in me or whatever is like, yeah, when it comes to like the good meals or whatever, like going out to eat lunch meals and stuff like that. And they'd look at me and it's like, man, you eat fast. I was like, yeah, like I'm trying to beat that feeling of full. I was like, I'm trying to get as much of this stuff in
Before
I
my brain
realize,
tells me
like,
to
you know
stop.
what? You're good. It's like, but no, this stuff tastes good.
Hold on, let me check the script, because we got that real quick. We got our scripts. Okay, so we talked about our weight loss, our diet, our hunger. Okay, let's move on to the workout itself now. Okay, so
Hot.
yeah, it is.
It's okay.
September.
We're sweating the toxins out.
Right, it's September.
Getting our sauna on.
We're in a room that we have soundproofed and everything, but the problem is we don't have any air in this room. We have an air conditioner, a window unit, but it's so loud the mics pick it up. So we had to kill the air so that way the mics don't have a distorted sound to them when we're recording. So I had to figure out how to run air ducts in here without all the noise because the unit's so loud. So we are sweating. I'm starting to sweat pretty good. So it's like a little sauna in
Yeah,
here. So
I'm
guys,
very moist.
we are putting in the work for you guys. Okay, so as far as it goes for the workout, I did deadlifts on Saturday, and something flipped inside of me because I'm just that old power lifter. I got that dog in me. I cannot stand to not power lift. It's like when it comes to powerlifting and it comes to bodybuilding, I love powerlifting. I deal with bodybuilding, and I did those deadlifts, and I was just like, I'm just going to do some deadlifts and some squats this week because I feel like it. Now I'm going to admit something here. I'm going back to even more basic than what I was doing beforehand, because what I'm doing was working out 6 days a week, and I was doing everything pretty much twice a week, and I was doing a bunch of variety. Well, I'm like, I don't need all this variety. I just need 3 days to really hammer hard the muscles I need to work on. And the best way to do that is a powerlifting routine. So I'm going back to a powerlifting routine starting Monday. I'm going to be going back to my exact program that I used to do when I used to compete, but the only difference is my percentages are going to be way lower. And then the amount of weights I'm using, of course, are going to be way lower. Now the reps, the sets, the volume, it's all going to be exactly how it was. It's just the weights are going to be significantly lower, because being 221 versus being 270, and then not powerlifting for many years and having a torn pec, it's going to be a night and day difference. So there's going to be a huge learning curve with my body size, because the heavier you are, your grooves and your leverages changes. So I'm gonna have to learn my new leverages. So the weights are gonna be really light, and I'm gonna build up to them. And it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. I just feel like I can apply myself a lot harder, a lot more aggressively, and a lot more intently if I have something that I enjoy doing. Because I've said it 100 times. The best program is the one you're going to do. The best diet is the one that you will stick to. And intermittent fasting with ground meat and rice, I can stick to it. And then powerlifting is the one I enjoy doing. So I don't think there's a huge difference between going, okay, I got to do barbell curls, dumbbell curls, spider curls, reverse curls, preacher curls, versus like, I'm just going to do straight bar curls, and I'm going to go hell. I'm going to go ham on them and give it hell. Like the biceps going to respond. I know personally, I could put pictures up of how I looked at 206 versus 270. And yeah, I was a little fatter, but I was a thick fatty and I had a lot of muscle mass versus what I have now. So I'm going to try to eat like a bodybuilder, train like a powerlifter, and see where that takes me down the road. And as far as it goes for soreness for the one I'm doing currently right now, I don't really have a whole lot of soreness. I'm not really experiencing it. And I don't know if that's because my intensity is not there, if I'm eating the right amount of food for what I'm doing. I'm not really sure, or if I'm just conditioned to the program, because that happens too. You could get conditioned to it. But my soreness, and when I was powerlifting, I never got sore. Like I never ever had soreness, but that's also because I ate so much food. My recovery was like top notch. But like if you're getting too sore, there's high probability you're not eating enough or you're doing too much. Because people talk about overtraining, and to me, overtraining is under eating. Because I never experienced soreness, no matter how hard I was training on powerlifting. I could spend 4 hours a night in the gym on one muscle group and just do everything under the sun I could think to throw at it, and I would never be sore the next day. But that's what happens when you're eating 6,000 to 12,000 calories a day. Your recovery is going to be up there. It's going to be high, and then you're going to be conditioned to that type of load, so your soreness will go away. So maybe I'm just conditioned to what I'm doing right now, so changing it up, because I've been training 6 days a week for the better part of a year and a half now. I went down to 5 days for a little bit, but for the most part, I've been doing 6 days a week, and I've been doing moderate volume frequency, like higher frequency, moderate volume. So now I'm just going to change it, go back down to 3 days a week, and just bring the intensity. Like I'm going to bring that dog back out of me, that aggression. That I miss that aggression in the gym, that just anger, that just like, what are you angry at? Nothing. I just made myself angry because I just want to lift this. I want to feel that aggression. I love it.
I saw a little bit of that the other day when you were showing me how to do a correct squat.
Yes.
I had a little boot camp PTSD from the yelling, but it was all good yelling because it was good training. And
It was cues. When I was, it wasn't yelling like,
yeah, not
"Yeah,
yelling
right,
at
Daddy."
me.
It was cues like down, 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 pause, up, up, up. It was cues.
Yeah.
So
It was good. It was
yeah,
good.
but you got it though. Your form looks impeccable on the belt squat. I mean, if you had a barbell on your back going for a low bar squat, you would have a picture perfect textbook low bar squat if you're doing low bar versus belt squats. But belt squats, I think, is the easiest way to teach someone how to squat.
And I'll probably stay on belt for a while, even though it like hurts my thighs. I need longer shorts or something, just the way the material hits. But
Yeah, the belt.
yeah. So I'll probably stay on those, like add some weight before I go to just the bar. But if belt squat works, I mean,
Yeah, there's virtually no difference between belt squats and low bar squats if you do them the same. The only difference is one loads the back, which requires more
Like
back
balance.
erectors. It requires more abdominals and more stabilization. So you'll actually feel it more in your midsection abdominal area than you will in your legs and your glutes when you do low bar correctly on a barbell. Versus the belt squat, which takes all that out and it literally just allows you to focus on the lower body. Like for instance, whenever I used to do low bar squats when I was powerlifting, I would squat like 405 for sets of 3 to 5. But then when I do belt squats, I would do belt squats with like 405 for sets of 20. So it's a huge difference in the amount of muscles that's required in the stabilizer. So, but like I said, the belt squats are like the easiest way to teach someone how to squat like without a bar, and it's almost exactly the same thing. It's just when the bar gets put on the back, there's a balancing that comes into play. But that's a really quick curve to learn once you learn the motor patterns. Once you get the motor pattern down,
I actually
it's
feel like
easy.
that's easier than the belt squats.
Well,
Personally.
you've
But I've
been-
also been squatting for a long
Yeah.
time. So.
yeah,
I
that's it.
thought I'd been squatting. Turns out I had.
You were definitely doing something.
I was doing something.
Yeah, I was moving. I was bending in ways.
I was going down and coming up. Just
Yeah. You've done squats for a long time though and stuff like that, but
Right.
you actually prefer the safety bar
Yeah. Well, what are the ones that I did tonight? The sit down
safety bar with the box squat.
box squat. I like those better than the belt squat, just because of I have scoliosis in my lower back. I think that's probably why I prefer the
that's right,
regular
where that belt sits.
Yeah, over those, because I like the load like on my shoulders versus pulling on my back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and it's a preference thing how it feels too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Personally, I like.
Plus, I just think you like the squats too. I just think you like the motion of it with the barbell on your back.
I
It's
feel
just
like
it's
it
a
makes you
different
feel
animal.
more official. I don't know. It's weird.
It's a different animal. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's virtually the same, but it's a different animal. It really is, and it's that rawness. It's
I just
that.
feel more accomplished when I do those than I do.
Yeah, well, it's like me doing deadlifts, right? Like, there's nothing more primal than picking something up off the floor, right? It's like, what is that? It's a rock. I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
pick
weird.
it up,
You
right?
Pick your clothes up off the floor.
Well, if I had to do it myself, then I mean, That's why I got married. Hey.
Whoa.
but
All right, getting back on topic because that could get slippery.
all right, pull us back in, Jen. Reel us back in.
Well, okay, so
Well,
I'm talking
back to the
about.
script. Let me get back to the script. Okay, we're still on programming.
I have my script right here. I'm good. So I'm talking about working out.
Your program.
I feel like from week 1 to week 2, I feel better in week 2. I feel like I still need to learn the abbreviations, but I think I'm going to make me like a spreadsheet so I can keep track. Plus, I want to track my weight and my reps so that next week it's like, okay, I maxed out at 50 on this, but I only did 9. Okay, I'm going to do 50 again until I get to a perfect 12. Then I know the next week I'm going to increase it by 10 or whatever, so I can kind of track it. But soreness, I'm definitely sore, especially like on hair washing days. I'm like, I shouldn't have done this the day after arm day. And I mean, I live in a 2-story house, so my legs are just always killing me. But it's a good sore. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good, right? It's like
I hate to admit that it feels good, but it does. Yeah.
Then I've done what I always end up doing. We start a routine and then you want to change it, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing. And then you're like, you could, or hear me out.
No. This time I just
What
told you.
happened
No.
was-
What I said, hey, I'm going to change my routine up, and this is the logical reasons why in my head I'm justifying changing it. Hold on, and then you sat there and you went, "Those are some valid points." And then you hit me up and going, "Hey, what are those percentages again?" And I told you, and then you're like, "Cool." And then
Yeah, because like,
And then I heard
as
you are debating on doing
'cause
my program with me.
You came in or whatever. And you're like, yeah. By the way, did some thinking today. You know, some drinking and some thinking.
more drinking than thinking.
Not really on the drinking though.
I was like,
Drinking water. Drinking water.
But like I said, I'm starting it Monday though.
But yeah,
And
so
you decided that.
So yeah, you came in and then you were like, yeah, I think I'm gonna try this, and these are the reasons why. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you could do what you want to do, you know, but this is what I'm gonna do, because yeah, like it's gonna work. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna stick with what we've been doing. And then like an hour later, I'm sitting there and
I could only work out 3 days a week.
He's like,
Sign me up.
you know what, like. I mean, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to switch it up. We've been doing the same routine pretty much.
So yeah, so, give it a try, see where it goes.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you go back. Or...
Yeah, we've been in the same routine for virtually a year and a half, with a little bit of variance, but the same basic routine. So it's just time for me to get back to trying to build up a little bit more.
If I don't get any results, then I can just be like, it's all your fault.
Yep, you have someone to blame.
Yeah, it always,
Yourself. You know? 'Cause we don't know what you eat when you go home.
that's true. And,
You don't know what you're doing when you're at home.
And then also, I'm going to be working out 3 days a week, but also I want to throw this out here too. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be doing yoga. So yoga is a phenomenal tool to use, because a lot of people, they sleep on yoga, but people that have like shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, they get impingement, and they have lower back spasms, knee pain. A lot of it can be corrected and fixed through yoga. So I had a sciatic issue on my 75-day challenge. I pinched something in my back and it just flared up and it would not let loose. Went to the chiropractor, did all kinds of stuff. Nothing would alleviate it. Then I started doing yoga. And after about 2 weeks of doing yoga, I was 100%. And every time I was doing yoga, my back would clack. Ooh, that was a pop. Pop. Ooh, yeah. And do another move and then pop. Ah. And every time it felt better and better and better and better through the movements. Then I got to the point where it became a lot more efficient at it. And then my hips and back just haven't bothered me since. So I've kind of haven't been doing yoga like I should be. But starting this program, I was like, I'm going to do cardio and abs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I started thinking about it. Well, anytime I've ever done this program, I've never had an issue losing weight. If anything, I had an issue of keeping the weight on, because how much demand it is on the body. That's why I would have to eat like the 6,000 calories was like maintenance calories, where I wouldn't lose weight or wouldn't gain weight. And if I wanted to gain weight, I had to eat over that. And like, that's a lot of food to eat. So it's like, I don't really need to do I don't need to do cardio, only eating 2,500 calories a day. What I need to do is some preventive maintenance, where I'm not going to get locked up on my back or my vertebrae or hips. So it's like, instead of doing cardio and abs, I'm going to do yoga. So that way I can stay nimble and limber. And then I don't get in a position that I pull something and I'm like, oh, because something
And
was
then you're
tight.
out for a week.
Right, and something was tight and everything, like washing your hair in the shower, reaching for Mr. Bubbles, not pointing no finger, saying no names, Richard. But you know, I want to make sure that I keep up with like my preventive maintenance, and like I'm not letting myself kind of get stiff and beaten up. Well, I was at work, so I'm a little sweaty. The reason why.
He was
That's
at
that
work. What was
color.
he working? I'm just
Yes, I was working. I mean, is that on the script?
Julia,
No.
you're going off. Stay on script.
No, berating me is not on the script. That's
It's
a
all
son
mine.
of
Let
a
me
gun.
pull mine out.
So, and,
Yep.
as far as it goes for y'all's routine, you guys are basically going to be doing the same thing. Like, not what we're doing, but you guys are going to be sticking to what you guys are already doing.
Right. It's just we're doing both parts of the legs on the same night versus working out Saturday. So we were going from 6 days to 5 days, which is I prefer because I like.
Having the weekend.
Right. It's just we would work out in the middle of the day, and it would really kind of put a halt to a lot
You had
of
to plan
things.
everything around it, and
can't really make plans on Saturday.
It made it hard. It made it hard for sure.
Yeah.
So,
So I like
yeah.
that
Well,
better.
also on Saturday, it's like, well, Wednesday is quad night, and then that's like a 30-minute workout. And then even on Saturday, it's like a 35-minute workout. So to put it all in one day just makes more sense for
Yeah,
you too.
because then it's like the same every day.
Yeah, it's more condensed and it's a little bit longer, but it frees you up a whole day where you don't have to structure that whole day around, especially being, you know, Saturday having other things to do and places to go.
Yeah, I
And,
have kids and stuff, and so I want to do things with them, and it's kind of like, well, you got like 1 hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We only have 2 hours, and I got to be back. Yeah.
yeah, it just makes life a little bit easier and stuff like that. So, but for me, I just need more rest because the reason why I'm doing 3 days a week is there's no way I can train the way I'm going to train doing 5 days a week, let alone 6 days a week. So 3 days a week, taking a big break between like muscles and movements. My biggest fight is going to be not increasing my calories because the second I start feeling overly fatigued or tired or worn out, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to push this as far as I can on the calories I'm on. And as long as my weights continue to get better and my numbers keep going up, I'm going to keep eating the exact same way I'm eating. But the second I have a moment where I'm just like, I don't want to do this. Not like, oh, I'm tired today and it feels heavy, but like, I don't want to do this. I'm exhausted. I'm worn out. This sucks. I'm out. I don't want to do this no more. That's when I'm going to start increasing my calories. And then or whenever my weight stalls. If that doesn't come, but then all of a sudden like my weights plateau and I'm not moving up on the barbell, like nothing is moving up by at least 1 rep a week, then it's like, okay, it's time to increase food because I've taken this as far as I could on the calories.
On what I'm on.
Right, on the
yeah.
calories that I'm on. So now the only step further is to increase the amount of food I'm eating so I can continue to progress forward because the goal is still to get abs. It's still to lean out and to body build. But at the same time, though, I would like to regain some of my lost mass that I
Next podcast. Well, guys, let me tell you, I'm increasing my.
yeah, it's like, okay, change of plans. We're going to be going into a powerlifting meet instead of bodybuilding. But no, that's a pipe dream of mine. I mean, and the thing is, reality, I could still compete in powerlifting. There's no rule that says like, oh, you can only bench this much weight to compete in powerlifting. If I want to go in there and just open with the bar and then just bench 55 pounds, I could do that. I'd have the lowest total. I'd have the totals. I should be competing with the juniors or the females, but regardless, like I can still compete in powerlifting. So if I get a bad enough itch, I'm like, I can do that. But the thing is, my knees, my hips, my back, I don't know how they would hold
Your
up.
neck.
No, not so much my
I was
neck.
just going with the song. That's
Yeah,
okay.
no, my knees, my hips, and stuff like that would be
We don't
more
have
the
Mr.
bigger
Bubble,
issue.
so he's fine.
So, but I don't want to push my body to those extremes again.
I don't want
Now,
you to
okay,
do
now
that.
look, if I'm like deadlifting like 600 for 5 easy, I might have to go try to pull 700 into meet just because that's always been my dream number to pull 700. So I might have to sign up just for a deadlift only meet and like I'm gonna open with a 7. I'm gonna get my 7. I'm done. I just want it up there. I'm done. So
It's for no for me, dog.
yeah. But like I said, that's just something I'm gonna have to resist because the goal is
Don't you
bodybuilding. 'cause
worry. I
I
got
want
your
to
back.
I want to be pretty. I want to be pretty and strong.
Oh, you're already pretty.
Oh, thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Now for some honesty.
Clean your nose. It's brown. Kissing booty.
So what's next on the script?
I was just going to ask that.
Yes, let me see.
done.
Okay, no, we're not.
Oh, we're still
Okay,
sweating. Got it.
Supplements. We're going to recap on our supplements because we talked about that the other day. Okay, so as far as it goes for supplements, I am taking a multivitamin, which I've already discussed. We're not dropping any brand names at all because we're not sponsored by anybody.
Unless you want to pay us.
maybe, depending on what the deal is.
Great value.
So, because some companies out there will give you a trash deal, and then it sounds like a good deal, and then you do it, and then you're locked in for X amount of years or time, and
and then
it's
you
a
can-
trash.
yeah,
So it
yeah.
just depends. So, but anyway, so what I'm taking, I'm basically taking
trying
a
to be a
multivitamin with digestive enzymes and probiotics with.
I'm taking a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so like I said, it's just a basic overall like feel good supplement. Like I said, the vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, probiotics.
Cognitive.
Yeah, cognitive. Liver detox is
Are
basically
you
what
still
I'm
taking something
taking.
for your blood pressure?
Yes, I'm also doing that. I take a natural supplement herb for my blood pressure. I only take one a day. It says up to 3 times a day, but I'd only take one because my blood pressure is actually back down to 120/80. It fluctuates between 117, 123, and 180, 185, which I'm fine with that. And like I said, I only take one a day, and it's been working perfectly for me. Now, if the time comes that I do start increasing my food, or if I start developing cramps from the heavy lifting, I might have to add salt back into my diet because of the heavy loads. I might actually experience cramping. If I do, then I'm going to increase it to 2 pills a day. If my blood pressure goes up from that, then I'll go to 2 pills a day to kind of like counterbalance the extra sodium from the meals and stuff like that. But so far, that's all I'm taking. And it's working very effectively for me right now as far as it goes for that, along with my pre-workout, which is just black coffee.
I'll go next. I'm taking nothing.
There you go.
The end.
She just wanted to talk.
She
I just
got-
wanted to put it out there.
She just got that dog in her.
I'm taking a lot of stuff. I'm taking vitamin D. I'm taking a pill for estrogen. I'm taking what else? You know what I'm taking.
Yeah, you're taking a thyroid balancing one. You take a energy supplement, a weight loss, a water weight supplement. You take a cognitive like focusing deal to help you with your
It's not working. I'm
You're-
still all over the
your
place.
your mental clarity, and then you take a multivitamin.
Yeah. And B12.
Yes, and B12. So, what do you?
Belly full of pills.
Ooh,
Same multivitamin pack thing that you're taking. I do that, and then also trying still that diet supplement one, just to give it a shot. Like I got one more week after this one, and then
How many weeks total is it? 3?
yeah, 3 weeks, 3 total.
Nice.
how do you like? If you haven't really noticed any more, like
Other
from
than like the
initial drop.
like I said, it's just mostly just helps eliminate the water weight from what I've seen or whatever, and then I still have so much on me that it's not really. Like I said, if I was down a lot more and I was just worried about water weight, then yeah, it'd be far more worth it.
No.
But like I said, it's not that it's not working or anything like that. It's just it's not really. I'm not at that level kind of thing for it. But it does whatever the stimulant is or whatever it is. Like I do have a bit more focus and like alertness when I do take it. But then again, that could also be it could be a mixture of both of them that help with that. Having the diet one plus the
Yep.
multivitamin one.
The multivitamin.
No. So let me check the script again here because I don't want to go too far off. Okay. So I am going to talk just a brief moment about my actual program, what I'm doing right now. I'll talk about what I'm going to be doing the end of next week when I change over to my powerlifting. But so I was doing chest and back on Monday and Thursday, doing arms and shoulders on Tuesdays and Fridays, quads on Wednesdays, and hamstrings on Saturdays. And I was basically doing 4 movements per body part, 4 sets each movement, 8 to 12 reps per set. And the movements I don't really think are that important to really go into huge detail. You can use your imagination. Like, okay, what's 4 movements for your bicep? Yep, those are the ones. What's 4 movements for your triceps? Yep, you got it. You know,
Yeah, I
so
change
like,
mine up every week.
yeah, she would change hers out. I had 2 different routines. I bounced back and forth. I would pick the ones that I could get the best pumps with the least amount of like joint pain or discomfort. And those are the ones. So if that's a routine you're looking at doing, it doesn't matter necessarily the routine I was like the actual exercise per se, what I was doing, but it's going to be beneficial to you to pick the ones that you feel it the most in the area that you're trying to train with the least amount of discomfort. And what I mean by discomfort, I mean like joint pain and any sort like that. But like I said, so that's basically what I was doing. And I was training 6 days a week, and I've been training 6 days a week, 5 days a week, roughly for about a year and a half. This is something that I've been doing for a while. I've been pursuing bodybuilding, and I keep, more is, if a little is good, more is better, extreme amount is awesome. So the more I could push, the more I could do, the more I can. And at one point, we got to the point where we were doing 20 sets per night per body part twice a week, and we were doing 40 sets a week per. You know, it was over like 1,000 reps per body part per week. It was insane the amount of volume. I'm not saying it wasn't working, but I'm just saying like joints started getting tender.
Sure,
So,
that's a lot.
Yeah, so like I said, it's one of those things that I just need to change it up and go back to something different, like strength training. So that's what I'm going to be changing out this coming week, and then I'm going to go into more detail about what I'm actually doing on that program on the podcast. I'm gonna do some workout videos, but they're not going to be how tos. They're not going to. It's just a little bit of like, hey guys. Here I am in the
It's
gym
me, Justin.
doing what I do, you know, but then we're going to go more into depth into the podcast of what we're doing in training and stuff. For those of you who are wanting to follow us along, this is going to be a weekly thing we put out every Sunday. So follow us, tune in, subscribe, share it.
Make comments.
Yeah, leave comments. Share it with your friends and family, even if they don't care. Just like, hey, just watch this video and leave a like, man.
Check these people out. They're fun.
Yeah, are funny looking.
Yeah, whatever works. We'll take it.
So that's a little something I want to throw out there for those of you curious. Like, well, what are you actually doing currently right now versus what you're going to be going to? So that way y'all can kind of understand a little bit better. Is there anything you guys want to add or anything y'all want to chime in on? Or are you guys good or nothing y'all feel like Lois left out?
No, I'm actually pretty
so.
good on the topics in our little script.
Yeah.
And we'll check back in next week.
I'm just glad I'm doing it. Like, it feels good to be doing
Looking
something
straight.
about my weight. So,
Yeah. Yeah, making improvements and self-improvement is always a really good feeling and stuff. You can never go wrong with that.
yeah.
But okay, well, I'm going to end the podcast here, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next Sunday.
Bye.